All right, JC, here we go. So I think I got it set up close to what we talked about yesterday. Thanks again for all the good advice. So what you see here is I've got the H&K running the wet signal through the M audios because I had to use the DI box out. I didn't have another speaker cabinet. I only have one speaker cabinet, and it's that Reverend. This Roland Bolt doesn't work. So, and this Marshall's just a crummy little amp. But I'm running it through, so my wet signal is going through, so the primary signal is going through the Reverend. And I've got it, and I'll show you the setup on the HX in a second. But, so I've got the sound going out there. And so actually, let me turn the Reverend down, and you'll hear the signal through the... So that's where the wet signal's living, and I haven't done much with the tones. I'm just trying to get the sounds out so I can figure out where they go. I'll tweak the tones in a minute. So now let me turn the Reverend up, and here's where I've got this sort of secondary signal with that 20 millisecond delay hanging off the bottom. So I'll turn the H&K off. So this is just the rev tone here. Okay, so. Effects, turning on the delay and the nothing. So it's just a little bit of a 20 millisecond delay on that one. Okay. So it's getting the, now when I say dry, it's not totally dry. I'm actually running through the effects loops so that I can get the EQ, comp, and distortion in front of the preamp, and then the reverb and the delay through the back end. Now I know you said keep it simple and go through the front end, but actually that's harder for me. I'm really happy with my tone, splitting it up there, and I can actually do it with the HX with the 7 cable method, which sounds incredibly complicated, but it's actually not that bad. So really happy with the tones when you do that. Not as happy when I just push everything through the front, particularly what happens to the delay and the verb. So I went with that. It seems to be working, and I'm making it happen. So that's just, and I've got it like you said, I've got the upside down smiley face. I got the frowny face on this one. So this one's with mids up. Okay. So then when you put them both together, and I've got let's turn the delay on, for instance. You hear the little bit of the ping pong between the two. Now, one thing I'm struggling with is getting that quarter delay over here. This is the dotted eighth over here. But I'm struggling to get the quarter delay. I haven't quite figured out the send return stuff, but I should be able to get that there. If I don't, not a big deal. I'll just have the Reverend amp be that beefier tone with the reverb from the amp, and then kind of take it from there. Okay. So that's what this. That's what this is coming up with. If I have less of an overdriven tone and just sort of a cleanish, churchy tone, it's coming through like this. So there's your stereo sound. All right, so let me show you the signal chain, and maybe you'll have some ideas on it. So this is what we're doing with the HX. So the signal is EQ, first of all, okay, followed by a deluxe comp, followed by the Klon, the Minotaur is what they call it, but it's the Klon Centaur, followed by a Timmy, the Tima, which is my second, which is my heavier drive. So I don't have both these on at the same time. I'll have that one and that one. And then there's this Kinky Boost,
which is effectively my boost. All right, I route the chain off, and this is where I go to that delay with that little short, actually I got 40 milliseconds on here, but I route it off of there, and then that goes out to the Reverend. Here, I've got that FX loop that then goes to verb, and I've got the delay behind it. There's some limitations with what I'm doing here based on my other chain, which I gotta dial in later. But this was my first pass at doing this using the signal, the FX loop, the way it was designed to be, where this stuff's in front of the power amp, and then this stuff is post power stage, right? So, in front of the preamp, the stuff's in front of it, and this is power amp. Again, still fussing with this down here, but that's how I've run it. The other option is to get real simple, like you were saying, and do it as a pedal board, which is right here. And I can do that, but I lose some of the flexibility. I may go back to that, but I started with it as not the 4-cable method, but I've actually got a 7-cable diagram here where you can see there's 2 amps and you're running everything through there. So I've got it there, on my way, struggling a little bit, because what happened is I tried to put another FX loop down here and it wasn't doing anything. And this is sort of the Reverend channel down here. I'm not sure why it wasn't doing anything, but it wasn't. It was, in fact, when it was on, when I had it turned on down in here, it wasn't actually playing the signal at all. It was when I had it turned off is when it was working properly. So not exactly sure what's going on there. The send return thing is a little bit of a mystery to me, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'm close enough with this. The only thing I don't love is that I can't route this delay. So this is my dotted eighth. Actually, I got it as a quarter right here, but I would run this one as a dotted eighth. I want to run this dotted eighth not after the verb, but as a separate. So I almost want another loop from here that runs it like out and around, so it's not getting processed with the reverb in front of it. So I don't know how to do that and carve off these additional channels. So that's my next challenge. All right, that's it for now. More to come. See you, buddy.